Do you feel like you have lost interest in everything? Everything in life seems bland. You just have lost interest in it. It doesn't feel that motivating or inspiring to you anymore, and so you're having trouble actually accomplishing things in life. Okay, this is a very, very common problem. I have gone through this countless times myself, and I'm gonna give you a solution to this problem in this video. If you guys are just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog mindset. Click the subscribe button and join us on this quest. And also, guys, if you haven't already taken the Bulldog quiz, there's a link up here in the cards. Make sure you take that quiz. There'll be a link below as well. That will give you your Bulldog score and tell you where you stand right now as far as becoming a Bulldog, whether you have mental toughness. Real quick quiz. You're going to find a lot of value in that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read you a message that I got in the Bulldog Mindset membership Facebook group. All right, so here's the email, or here's the message that I got. He says here, "Hey guys, it's really embarrassing for me to write my problem here, but I hope you can advise me. The problem is I kind of lost my interest in everything. I like the idea of becoming rich guy, doing my own projects, working as a freelancer, etc. There are millions of good ideas of how to make my life successful. I like some of them, but I will not do a step." All right, just like that, I will not start. I took courses on motivation, leadership, being successful. I signed up for the Bulldog Mindset membership and many other stuff. I just don't do anything. Okay, and I'll tell you guys, maybe you can relate to this. All right, I certainly could at times, and I know a lot of you watch a lot of courses, you watch a lot of videos on motivation and personal development, but then you're just not doing anything. All right, so he goes on to say here, I spoke with some psychologists about that. We discussed laziness, procrastination, making small steps, but nothing works on me. I stopped doing these things because I am not interested. I lose interest, and that's it. Again, another common problem. I can relate to this. I'm going to give you some solutions in a second here, but let's continue on. He says, "Let's be clear. I understand that nobody will do anything for me but me. I have to do steps. I have to push myself. I have to, but I am tired pushing myself. One of the psychologists suggested to me that I am just afraid to do anything because I can't forgive myself for something in the past, but I don't know how to pass it. I know one thing, I will do whatever it needs and much more if that, quote, whatever is interesting for me. That interest burns me from the outside and I can't stop until I finish that. But I didn't have that interest for a long time now. I understand that there is no always interesting stuff. I'm sorry for messing my message, but I don't know what to do. Can I do something or am I useless?" Okay, so again, guys, I have to reiterate to you that you are not alone in experiencing this. Exactly what's written here in this message, I myself have experienced time and time again, where I feel like I've lost my interest in everything and I don't feel motivated to actually do the work that I need to do, right? It's really common to experience this, to go through this. All right, so let's talk about how you can solve this, what's going on here psychologically, and how you can actually step up and achieve things. So I'll tell you a little bit of my background, my story. If you don't know me, I used to be lazy and unmotivated, okay? We can put up some images here where you can see what I used to look like, all right? But it wasn't just a surface level thing. I just didn't have the internal drive. I would start a lot of things. I'd be interested in doing a lot of things. I'd really have these great ideas of creating a business, creating stuff online, selling something, really advancing myself or getting in really good shape or learning these skills. And I just wouldn't follow through on that. I wouldn't do anything. And then, what happened to me eventually is that I got to this point where I just had enough, right? And what I decided to do was start a project, and the project that I started was this Android application, okay? I was a software developer, and I wanted to create a side project, but I created this Android application that was called Pacemaker at the time, and the idea was that it would tell you if you're going too fast or too slow, right? It would give you an audible thing in your ear. And, I designed out this application. I was using like Scrum and Agile processes, and I had this Kanban board, and I was really excited about doing this. And about, maybe about a week into it, and I was learning Android development at the same time, I really started to lose interest. I didn't want to do this anymore. But I made a decision. a really key decision that completely changed my life, and it will change your life too, is I decided that I was going to finish this project. Okay, no matter what. And what I told myself was, okay, look, I'm just going to work on this for about an hour every single day. All right, a minimum of an hour every single day until it gets done, whether I feel like it or not, whether I like it or not. All right. And I did that. All right. And what happened was I actually finished the application. In fact, I hit this point where I was almost done with the application and I wanted to make it look good. So I sent it over to this graphic designer, okay, to actually design the actual application. And she sent me back these screens that I was supposed to implement, and I had no idea how to implement them. They were not the standard Android controls. It looked nothing like my application looked like at that point, and I got really, really discouraged. I lost even more interest because in order to implement what she was showing for the design, I'd have to do like pixel level custom controls and implement all of this code that I had no idea how to do. But you know what? Again, I came back to it and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to work an hour every day on this. And I'm just going to make whatever, even if I make just a little bit of progress, I'll make some kind of progress on this and I'm just going to keep on doing it. And I forced myself to do this. And what happened was amazing. Once I committed to this thing, I'm not going to say that I got 100% motivation, but I started to get some of the motivation back for doing this. And it waxed and it waned, right? So some days I would feel real motivated. I was making progress. And eventually I got to this point where it wasn't even hard for me to work on this application because I was seeing progress being made. I could see the finish line and I knew that every day I was working on this thing, and I eventually released the application and it was successful. I actually got featured in Shape magazine and I sold a bunch of copies of it, and I ended up creating an Apple version, an iOS version of it, and it led to a lot of awesome things in my life and my career, including creating a bunch of Pluralsight courses, and really it was one of the catalysts that allowed me to retire early and to make millions of dollars literally from that one choice, that one commitment. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this story is because there's a really important concept that if you've been following me for a while, you know that I talk about this a lot, which is this idea of working without motivation. Okay. And here's the thing. Okay. We are going to be interested in certain things in life. All right. And we can't really control those interests so much, right? Because some things just appeal to us. But what happens over time is anything that we're interested in, we eventually lose that interest. We lose the passion, right? So many people have this idea that you should do what makes you passionate or what you feel passionate about. And that's not true. Okay. That might get you to initially start a thing, and that's great. But in order to actually finish a thing, you just have to be able to work without motivation. It's probably the most important skill that you can have in life. So if you feel like there's something wrong with you because you don't have interest in something, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just how most people are. That's why when you look at this world, when you look at so many people, they are mediocre. Okay, most people live their lives never achieving any level of real success in life. Okay, and the reason why is because they haven't learned to work without motivation, because they feel like they have to have an interest in something in order to pursue and go forward and do it. When I wake up every morning and I need to record YouTube videos, do you think that every day I'm excited to record YouTube videos? No, I'm not. I sometimes I dread it. I don't feel like I want to. But then when I look back at my YouTube channel and I see people commenting and I see how it's growing and I see my business growing as a result of that, then I gain that interest back again for periods of time. And then I'll go through periods of time where I'm not motivated. But if you guys notice, I still produce videos. I mean, how many years now have I been producing videos on the regular? At one point I was doing 2 videos a day. So the key here, okay, the key here is to make sure that you are able to do things without having to have that interest first, okay? If you pour yourself into something, okay? If you start really working at something, if you make progress on it every single day, you will gain interest in it. I promise you. You'll become addicted to that thing, and you're still going to fight some battles, like I said, from time to time, where you're not going to feel like doing it, okay? But you will regain that interest, and you'll eventually get to the point where you have success, and that's the price that we have to pay for success. Every single thing in life that I've ever done, that I've accomplished, that I've made progress in, I can tell you that I was bored to tears, right? Life is a grind. right? It's always been a grind in order to achieve those results and to be successful. Even the same thing for you guys that are interested in having success with women, right? A lot of guys complain to me. They say, oh, well, it's not fun. It's not fun to go out there and be rejected all the time and to talk to all these girls. Well, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort, and you might not even feel the motivation to do it, okay? Because you're not getting very much results, you're not getting success, but then you keep on doing it over and over, and then you start to get better. And then as you start to get better, you're going to gain that interest and you're going to reach success in life. So you really got to be willing to put in that time. You really got to be willing to grind it out in life. Otherwise, you're never going to reach that fulfillment that you have when you actually successfully do something and you make that progress in life. Again, that's one of the main reasons, guys, why I talk about and why I created the Bulldog Mindset membership, is because I wanted a community for you guys to be able to do that. Check it out if you haven't already, because you're going to be around a bunch of guys that are going to have that same mindset, and you're going to be able to deal with these struggles, and you're going to be able to see the progress of other people who are actually grinding it out and developing that Bulldog mindset. It's a really critical skill to have in life. Yeah, so I think that's about all that I have to say about that, guys, is, you just got to be willing to work without motivation. I know it's hard to do. I know that it's difficult, but I've been there. I've done that. I've gone through it myself. And if you're willing to commit that time, just, whatever it is, like let's say you're trying to start a business, okay? Can you just devote an hour a day to working on that business, okay? At some point, maybe you increase it to 2 hours a day as you start to make progress and you want to make more progress, but you're going to have to do some of that stuff without the motivation, right? A lot of times we want to just do the fun thing that's interesting to us at the time, and that's going to give you like immediate joy, right? It's going to give you some maybe immediate pleasure, but in the long term, it's not going to give you the things that you want in life. Instead, you have to forego that immediate pleasure and sacrifice, on the altar of grinding it out in order to get to the point in life where you're actually going to gain interest because you're making progress in something, and then you're going to get the rewards from that. And what you'll find over time is that it's not even the rewards that will motivate you. What it is it's the job well done. It's knowing that you've accomplished these things. It's knowing that you've stuck it out, that you've persevered, that you've invested this time, and you'll find that interest grows over time. So don't worry about all the other stuff. If you want to overcome laziness and procrastination and stuff like that, subscribe to the channel. I talk about that a lot on this channel, but the key thing is just to sit down and do the work. That's really what you've got to do if you want to be successful. All right, guys, so make sure that you subscribe and watch some other videos on the channel to get an even better idea of how to develop that Bulldog mindset and to become successful in life. Talk to you next time.